little bit of funkiness going on there.
Of course. But Happy Branches, I was just mentioning how they kind of with this along the same lines. I'm just really surprised that the Void was and the Invoker were more issues than the Earth Spirit in that game. But I understand that those are the heroes that
Yeah.
like in the end had the most impact. But the Earth Spirit was the one who was really just causing so much dysfunction in those team fights for Ghosts.
Yeah, thinking about counter options, I think I would have banned out the Invoker because Invoker is just really strong, and then taken the Earth Spirit out in the first phase.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to reach for the Void in the first phase, I think I would have allowed them to do that. And if they didn't, I would have banned it in the second phase. But there are a lot of ways to stop Void effectively. Earthshaker, Jakiro, a lot of things are very good at disrupting the Chronosphere. So that's not I don't know that I would have reached for that ban, but clearly they feel a little bit more comfortable dealing with the Earth Spirit than they do with the Void. That Chronosphere is still a very, very powerful ultimate. So
Very
good thing to
powerful,
take
but
away
I mean,
there.
I still felt like, I mean, aside from like, you know, the heroes just being caught out or being just like generically squishy in themselves, like the Puck. I mean, once phase shift is done, I mean, she's not gonna be able to stand up to a Void or if there's any, you know, kind of reinforcement. So I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time, yeah, I agree with you. I would have waited to ban it out, but I'm sure they have their reasons. So Silencer versus Magnus, this could be a really frustrating game if the timings are right here.
Yeah, I'm super curious about the item decisions from Team Ghosts because Silencer is one of those characters that makes you think about items you might not otherwise see. Manta, BKB, and Yule's Scepter being very, very strong against him for the soft purge, as well as Diffusal. You can use Diffusal on yourself to purge off the silence. So we'll see if that type of pick colors the opportunities, the item opportunities for Team Ghosts, or if they go for more standard builds.
And OD, who I've seen just absolutely just destroy games in both pubs and in professional. The Dragonlance just changes a lot of things for him. Opens up a whole new world of possibilities. The
Yeah, he's
axe.
a character that's very vulnerable, and getting that additional range makes him a lot safer.
Not only that, but I mean, with the Earth Spirit and the axe in the forefront, I think that allows him a lot more flexibility as far as items go, as far as his progression is concerned, at least.
Reserve time.
People
Well, we'll
don't
see what
still
team.
jungle axe though, right? This is a laning axe, correct? This is off lane, I imagine.
Well, we'll see. It could end up being a jungle axe, or last time we saw them run like a Earth Spirit sort of support. So this could definitely be a similar setup as last game with the axe taking Bristleback's spot, and then their hard carry being in sort of a solo position until they rotate the supports to assist.
So is this a safe lane carry for 4 Happy Branches as their last pick here? Assuming that the silencer is not going to be core.
Well, last game we saw some kind of crazy lanes, so I'm not going to go as far as to say a safe lane carry, but I'm going to think that they're going to pick a right-click focused hard carry for their last selection. And like the way the lanes ended up going last game, we had both teams run like a semi-aggro lane, and then they flip-flopped lanes, and then we had standard lanes, and then just like everyone was all over the place in the early game, and it made for some really interesting Dota. So we'll see how the lanes end up going, because right now we have Axe, who could be all over the place, and we have a Slaughter who could be safe lane or off lane. We have some supports off of Ghostz who really like to roam around and look for early game kills. And just a lot of flexibility in both rosters. So I'm really curious to see how the lanes end up going.
Yeah, they definitely picks a flexible draft. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a core silencer. I mean, who doesn't want to see that? But
yeah, with his agility boost several patches ago now, he's become a lot more reliable right clicker. I know a lot of people like to go for the Augsure Fesher build to just disable teams for disgusting amounts of time, which is also really nice. But he can be built as a one-spot right-click carry with the agility game change.
not to mention taking, you know, intelligence from heroes that are very dependent on, especially the Slardar, who, you know, the more if you get a few stacks off of him, I mean, you get maybe instead of getting 3 crushes off of a fight, you get 2, you know. I mean, yeah, he only has 2 skills that technically use that have mana cost, but at the same time, like you're spamming out amplify as much as you can. You're trying to crush as often as you can, so it can make a big
Yeah,
difference
and he
down the
does.
road for sure.
And Slardar is not the kind of character that builds a lot of mana items, right? Magnus also has a fairly limited mana pool, but you'd expect him to have, you know, a Force Staff or a Yule's or an Oggs or some. Ooh, I like that pick. Or some kind of item that boosts his low mana pool. But Slardar not going to have that same kind of thing.
I was hoping that they go for a more durable last pick just because of the, you know, the intrinsic ability for Ghostz just to kind of be able to cut down heroes just because of the minus armor from the Slaughter and the Dazzle. So I think Necro's a great pick. And especially, I mean, you can argue that these aren't, you know, your traditional right-click carry late game heroes, but they both scale incredibly well into the late game. Necro, you know, with the Scepter and Refresher, you can literally wipe 2 heroes out of the game for over a minute. So definitely should not be underestimated in the late game. Not by a long shot.
Yeah, and then oh look, they have actually taken your picture as their.
Oh my
avatar.
god, they
It's adorable.
actually did. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. I'm flattered, actually.
Oh,
I'm flattered. I did have
drop,
copyright. I have
yeah,
copyright on that though, so that's kind of. It's whatever. It's cool.
I think that the OD and the Silencer actually provide the team with a lot more right-click than some people would expect at first. So I don't know if they'll get outscaled in the late game. The thing that I'm curious to see is how this less meta roster, shall we say, from 4 branches, lines up against more of a standard play. I know the Magnus is not as popular, but the other 4 picks out of Ghostz are very, very much flavor of the month characters, shall we say. The Juggernaut, the Slardar, the Dazzle, the Lion. We've seen a lot of those, so we'll see how this less orthodox roster matches up against that.
We did have to switch our stat people from Drop Bear to our new friend who's new to the stream, so we welcome him and hopefully he will do just as good as Drop Bear. I have complete and utter faith in him, so. I mean, after what we saw game 1, I have no idea what to expect because we kind of figured, hey, you know, Ghostz, very good team, and been kind of having their way ever since week 1's finished with everybody, so. I don't know, I feel like we kind of underestimated 4 Happy Branches and they definitely made us eat crow, huh?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I was expecting that game to go very differently if the Ghostz 4 Happy Branches showed that they have a great grasp of the lane phase, a great understanding of team timings, and sort of how to play against that AoE style we saw from Ghostz in the first game. So we'll see. This is a slightly different team out of Ghostz. Last game they had, you know, everyone going in push R. This game they have a lot more finesse on the roster, a lot more single target stuff going on. So we'll see if that plays more to their strengths or not. And we have an Earthshaker or an Earth Spirit down here, maybe going for an early courier snipe.
A little unorthodox. Typically, you don't see that hero going for that particular play. Oh, but actually, he's in prime position here. Let's see, the courier's it's behind the creep wave though. Now's his chance. He sees it.
Oh, he's pulled the creeps.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's gonna.
Now he's in. Okay.
No.
So luckily he has the roll boulder, so he's gonna be okay. But still, that's some mind games there. Knowing that even without a bounty, and Axe actually is dropping super low and he's dead. It's nice to have camera control back. It's nice. I actually am able to do stuff this game. So the aggressive trial lane doing exactly what it needs to here, and looks like they get it's just a stun into Blade Fury. Very simple. All right. So what about this Magnus OD lane? What can we expect out of this here?
Well, OD is obviously going to crush in the CS. He's got much better right click, he's got range, and he's got good harass ever since the change.
Yeah, he gets an early point in the Arcane Orb too.
Yeah, this is going to be really a contest between seeing how much Magnus can get off of rotations versus how far OD can put him behind in lane phase. Because OD has great rotations when the ultimate's up, but the cooldown is forever, so
yeah,
Magnus is going to have more gank potential.
Yeah. $160 is nothing to sneeze at, especially when the laning phase only goes for so long. So Slardar's literally just getting bullied out of lane over and over again. He still has a decent amount of regen here, but actually there's an early point into Glaives here on the Silencer here for extra harass. And he's trying to trade blows, but yeah, that's not going to work out. And actually, yeah, I don't know, Holmes. He should not have stopped. He's gonna pop his sap, but it's gonna be completely wasted. So he's down to 1 tango here. Tough off lane. Really tough off lane.
Yeah, pretty hard for both teams. The Axe is not having the funnest time either.
No, oh gosh, no. But he at least has a couple levels out of the way here. Slardar has to go back
Speaking
still
of
level
tough
1.
lanes, mid lane's getting crazy.
And they realize that this is the one lane that they can definitely punish. So, but luckily Magnus has the regen rune pops that good to go. Yeah, Slardar's level 1 has to walk back to base here. So, if you want to compare off lanes, I think that's already a pretty convincing early start here. So now Axe is in quite a predicament. He's actually don't get too much mana drain. He gets into the fog of war here. He's gonna trade some right clicks with the supports, which doesn't really phase them too much. I wonder if actually that he really needs the tranquil boots, unfortunately, and he's just not quite there yet.
Yeah, both these offlaners are kind of waiting on blink daggers to be effective, and so the teams are pretty content sacrificing them for the first 15 to 20 minutes, as long as they don't pick up too many deaths, just to get those blinks up, because both of these characters are very self-sufficient once they have that singular item. So you're not going to see a lot of support rotations out to those off lanes. We're going to see a lot more contention over mid and trying to secure farm for the safe laner while denying the opposing team solo lane.
Slardar had to resort to using Crush to acquire CS in the top lane. Not ideal. But he is able to pick up the boots, so that'll help him out tremendously here in lane, just as far as survival goes generally.
After last game, seeing sort of a passive lane phase is really weird. Last game we had a lot of early kills. One team had 21 kills by 21 minutes, and the other team had 16 at that point. So this is definitely a different flavor of Dota.
It's weird. I actually get control and I'm able to click on heroes and now nothing's happening. Okay, well, there you go. See, as soon as we say something, we cast your Jinx.
Yeah.
So
Axe goes down.
Yeah, still unable
That's a second death.
Yeah, he's unable to get the tranquils online, so he's trading all the blows, blowing through all his regen, and you know, I mean, it just takes him to get caught out going a little too aggressive just once, and he's dead. So
this offlane has been incredibly rough for both of these characters. Axe has been getting a little bit more experience and a little bit more farm, but
a little bit more time in the graveyard too, though. Unfortunately,
more deaths, yeah. And they've actually rotated the Earth Spirit down here to help out the Axe because they feel very safe running this Necro up against the Slardar, who's been completely bullied up until this point in the game.
Although, I mean, as far as levels, I mean, Slardar's almost level 4, so he's not doing terrible. He hasn't died. I mean, he's not getting CS, but I mean, he's about a half level behind, and actually, Axe might go down again here. Lion's trying to get in position for the stun here. He's gonna do it blind. He gets it perfectly. Poison touch just for fun, and Jug actually gets a second kill in that lane already too. So the rich get richer. 31 CS, not enough. I want 2 kills as well. So great early start to the Juggernaut.
This is looking a lot more like the Ghostz that we're used to seeing.
Yep. Gotta flex that pin pan every once in a while. I mean, that's the thing. It's like you can't really fault them for, you know. I mean, they went for a draft that's not. I mean, maybe just since we've only been casting for this season, but this is the 3rd week that we've covered them, so we've seen quite a few drafts out of them. It just seemed really unorthodox, and they go back to basics here, and they're making it work for them early on. Yeah, it's kind of sad when the Lion finishes upgrading his boots before your offlaner does. Happens though. Actually, Slardar can finish his Tranquilis here. Slardar, he's actually recovered quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do you think he's gonna go Tranquils, or do you think he'll try to reach for the treads?
I think if he's committed to staying in this off lane, I think he's gonna. I mean, because he has no regen. So let's see right now. Yep, he goes Tranquils. I haven't seen much other ways to go about it. I mean, yeah, treads obviously great for the attack speed, but typically with the Slardar, you don't get a point in the bash until later on. You max out Crush and maybe at least a point in the ult and 2 or so in sprint before you put one in the stun, because he's not getting right clicks off anyway here. Speaking of right clicks, Silencer's taking a few, and they're really hoping that. Oh, what a great stop here by the Earth Spirit! But Only stalls him for so long. Level 1 ult, not enough to kill him. Grave goes out anyway.
Oh, good Grave.
Yeah, level 1 Necro ult is just so underwhelming. So Slaughter able to get that kill there and make it out safely. Axe actually getting a great call up on the Lion. He doesn't have stun up. Yeah, he didn't have stun up and no points into the Hex. He went for 2 actually in the mana drain, so. Support goes down on each side. Cores remain unscathed, so.
Well, I think I have to give that trade to 4 branches because their Axe came out, you know, a little bit further ahead than the Slaughter in terms of getting that Blink Dagger. And that's really where the teams are hurting the most. Losing those supports, the supports are doing all right this game. And the hard carries are the safe laners, I guess we should call them, are doing just fine, as well as the mid laners. So it really comes down to that off-lane difference, and I think their Axe came out a smidge ahead of the Slaughter.
Good use of smidge. They approve. And so now on the back end of that, they're actually able to push and take the top T1. So Midas on Necro, so he will be scaling, he will be leveling quite fast. And Jug's actually he's going for the same kind of route. He wants to be able to farm and scale later on, so he's going to go with the initial Battle Fury. So a lot of farm on both of these safe lane heroes.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. The way the game's been going, it's been very slow paced. The last game we saw a lot of aggression, so we didn't see as many
try this
farming
OD.
items.
He's actually surrounded. If they can get a crush up, oh, just not in time.
Oh.
And yeah, he's going to be able to get out. They're going to pop the regen. He's ready to go. He's got maxed out Arcane Orb. He's ready to duel some deeps. Level 1 Omni Slash. Pops the Fairy Fight. Actually,
he's going to get him.
Yeah, he'll definitely get that kill, no doubt. He had backup and didn't even need it, so. We'll see if the rest of the 4 branches want to come in here. 1-man RP on the Silencer. He doesn't even have any. He doesn't have global. Yeah, he's left to his own devices. They're going to sap his man just before they kill him. Just rubbing his face a little bit. So 2 go down on 4 epi branches. I don't mind the solo RPs. I don't mind the solo RPs. This early, you're not going to be.
No, especially in the early game. Yeah.
You're not going to be, conjoining for kills early on. So. And
one big thing about playing.
Earth Spirit's going to go down too. He's going to try to get the boulder. Not enough. No more remnants, and they're just going to cancel TP. They realize he's gone. 4 kills already on the Jug in 9 minutes. Yikes.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit sloppier game here out of 4 wards, or maybe it's just for Ghostz playing a little bit tighter. We're really used to seeing them play after these faster timings with the team, where they can start fighting before level 6. Last game we saw them, as you mentioned, go for a little bit less standard draft, one that's more reliant on ultimates, and they were slower in that game, and I think that ended up costing them.
Here we go. They're going to go on the line here. Axe going to get a call off, so they got the movement speed if they want to keep going. And without the Blink Dagger on the Axe, he gets the casual Ring of Health. This actually might be a Vanguard first. We'll see. No, they're content with just farming the enemy jungle here. So Magnus rushes the Blink Dagger, skips over upgrading the boots, and gets the Blink Dagger right now. So RP's not up for another half minute, but he'll be ready when it is. What does Necro go first item here, Brian?
Well, normally you see the Necro go after a mech fast, but with the Silencer and the Earth Spirit, you could see him go for something different. He could go for a Blink first, an Augs first. Oh, that's interesting. No chills, 72 last hits at the 10-minute mark in the top 10 patch for Juggernaut. So playing very effectively. It kind of gives you a feel for really how high skilled these players are. They aren't pros yet, but they're definitely competing on the same level in some mechanics. In terms of Necro, I would like to see a Blink Dagger or an Augs first. There are other builds that are a little bit less standard, but getting that kind of mobility to shut down Juggernaut and getting the ability to really kill someone very dead could be very effective.
Very dead. That's the dream, right? The Dota dream. I thought they're posturing mid. I thought they were going to have an engagement here, but now Axe doesn't have anything to really go off of here, and we have a trade here. Slaughter for Necro. I think you have to favor Ghostz for that.
Oh.
And then take out the Axe in mid?
There.
How did he die?
Yeah.
I know he had no mana.
Lion had finger.
Oh, yeah, well, you hit 6, you got to use it. I mean, it's such a long cooldown, you want to use it every time it's up for sure. Put it back on cooldown, secure a kill. Yeah, Axe he's all by his lonesome there with no mana, so. Understandable.
I'm actually going to give the edge to 4 branches on the trade top because of something you mentioned earlier. Every time that Slardar dies near Silencer, he's losing intelligence. And I think that if that adds up, if he takes too many more deaths around that Silencer, like you said, his crushes are going to go down. So the Necro dies and the Slardar gets a little money, but the Slardar loses intelligence permanently.
Axe
so.
definitely in a bad position here. Hex is still available. They're going to use
Oh,
it.
is it going to be a second death?
Oh my gosh, the amp damage comes out, and it's going to be just in time too. All the cooldowns were in the works here for Ghostz, so Slardar's able to come in and finish him off. So Axe is just, now I see why he's rushing the Vanguard. At least he has the early ring of health, because he's just getting destroyed, man. Is that 4 deaths already for him? Oh, he's 2 and 5, so you got a couple dunks in, but yeah. Definitely taking a few hits on the net worth chart for sure. And Necro's actually going down again, so Blink Dagger's getting closer for Slardar here, bud.
Well, it's a journey. I think both of these offliners can agree with that. It's been rough for both of them. Oh, good deny there.
And do we have an Omni Slash up? We do. There's only 1 creep around. Yeah, you can definitely use it.
Oh. Yeah, he kind of botched it on those creeps.
Wow.
There were 3 melee creeps just close enough to be in range, and you could see he was using Blade Fury to try and clear them out before he went in with the Omni Slash, but he just didn't quite buy enough time.
Good plays.
Unlucky bounces.
Oh, he rushed bots. All right.
Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Well, we'll see how it plays out. He's going to be able to be all around the map. He's going to be able to farm really effectively. We could see the super OG build of Bloodstone Radiance.
All right, so we have a misclick here. Global is expended, and he just made it. It happens, right? It happens. I know when they first changed Tide and you wanted to use the Anchor Smash, you might pop a Ravage here and there on accident. It happens, right? And your team starts flaming you once they realize it's on cooldown and you're just using it to farm the jungle. But yeah. You pop a game-changing ult, whatever, man. It happens. Deal with it. And Axe is actually in a really tough spot. He goes down again. I don't even know why he's going past the river by himself at this point. He's just getting destroyed. And that's, I mean, with amp damage, it just makes it all the quicker too. Like they can take.
Yeah, they have a lot of minus armor, so that Axe is not nearly as safe as he'd normally be.
No. And there's a Slardar Blink Dagger, so there you go.
Here's where you'd want the Omni for Juggernaut. And he's gonna get it anyways.
Takes out the OD. So they've been battling back and forth, and Jug finally is able to finish him off here. So 5-0 start for the Jug. 128 CS already. Jesus. Dude's a farming
He's having
machine.
a monster game.
Yeah. Well, they asked me earlier in this week what they thought about switching the roles, the carries and the mid players. I'm like, I think it's okay. I think it's a good decision.
Yeah, I don't think you can argue with the results. The way we've seen his Spectre play, even in that last game, the Spectre was pretty effective, despite them taking the loss. And then watching him play the Juggernaut this game, No Chills has been an incredible
crush on the
safe lane
Necropose.
carry.
See, this is why he wishes he had a positioning item here. Yeah, he's pretty much done here. He went Ultra Greed mode, and he's actually gonna be able to make it out. And there's the Omni Slash, wipes out the Silencer off the face of the earth here. Earth Spirit's gonna be doing a lot of damage. A key grave here, saving the Slardar, but wow, just enough time. Oh, actually, the Silencer buff was still on him because I think he cast his sprint after.
Yeah.
Axe is in a tough place again. He's got to run out. He's got the Vanguard, but he's still just so damn squishy. And Lion's been adamant about making sure he has absolutely no mana for any fight. And there's the RP. Oh! OD just ruining his day. Jug goes in. He's doing so much damage to Jug. He's got it. Axe! Great save by the Earth Spirit. He's been so clutch. Oh, and drops the hammer. Jug is off the map. Wow. That is not how I pictured that team fight going.
Not at all. They got a little bit over aggressive for that Axe at one hit. And oh, good push. Wow, what a push.
And he's actually going to save himself too. One last tower hit. Oh, he survives. Beautiful. And okay, so the Silencer's going to clean up 2 on the back end there. He's going to get the He's only +8 actually. Sad times. Get the crush off. It's only gonna take a couple right clicks. He's not. No, he's not even gonna waste it. Not worth it to him. Interesting.
He died once to the silencer, and I think once bitten, twice afraid.
Well,
so he's gonna back off there.
I mean, we both mentioned that he's down to 325 mana at this point. Like, he's got enough for 2 crushes and a few amps, and he's pretty much SOL. So, yeah, definitely gotta be careful. Especially this early in the game, man. It's 18 minutes in. Like, you don't want to be able to. You want to be able to get your spells off, you know, at 25 minutes, right? Kind of helps you out in team fights.
Without a doubt.
Jug picks up a Blade of Alacrity. Is this
S and Y.
I mean, for a second I was pondering Diffusal just to break the silence. The global,
Would make sense.
I mean, maybe. I don't think so.
It's gonna be he has the Yasha recipe, so it will be an S and Y. Or it could be a Manta, I guess. He could use Manta to purge the silence.
Yep, that's also a great pick here too.
Double damage.
Yeah, and he picks up the Yasha, so most likely a Manta here. Manta's actually pretty nice for a few things. I mean, breaking the silence obviously for one, but it gives him a little more of a split pushing aspect if he just wants to send the illusions out to push the wave with the Battle Fury.
Yeah, it also makes him very difficult to 1v1 if he decides to go after that push. Omni Slash is, of course, one of the most important 1v1 abilities in the game, but creeps around it can be difficult. Having 2 copies of yourself that may not be quite as strong but are still very powerful, that's a really strong 1v1 tool. You can also get some body blocks in with that if you want to be really cute, especially if the OD gives you the chance to set up by Astral Imprisoning himself.
Which we haven't seen him do it defensively here, and they're just going to disengage. They know better. Magnetizes up, and he gets it off.
And it's out.
He does the early, again, the Necro with a really early ult here, and it's not working out for him. Silence comes out, misses the dunk for the axe, but he still ends up getting the kill. And the Earth Spirit's just kicking everyone everywhere. And another kill for the Silencer here. He's +12 already. He got +4 in the last engagement. So yeah, he's feeling pretty good here. And he's actually almost has a completed mech. As they take this T1, he'll actually have enough for the recipe. So not bad.
And it looks like the Necro will be going old school. So that's either going to be a Rod of Atos, which would be very uncharacteristic, or it's going to be a Bloodstone. And I would be expecting a Bloodstone. Oh, no, it's actually going to be an Atos. He's got the Staff of Wizardry. So
there you go.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, I really like the Necro pick at first. It's just the way they've been using him thus far, and the item progression so far is just leaving me scratching my head, honestly.
Well, the Atos is very unpopular, but it's actually really strong. The cooldown on the item is what you really need to look at more, because a lot of people just think, oh, it's a slow, whatever, I can buy a sheep stick.
It's like, what, 4 or 5 seconds?
The cooldown's like, no, it's a little longer than that, like maybe 8.
8?
It's
well, now I have to
something
look.
like that.
No way.
It's
I'm gonna say 6.
It's really short cooldown,
but
it gives a
12. Oh my
crippling
gosh, it's
slow.
12?
12?
Such a win.
No, that makes sense. But it's still a super strong item. Like with a cheap
no,
stick,
it wasn't even the item I was really questioning. It was mostly the bots, but I mean even the Midas is very, very greedy.
Oh yeah, the bots is weird to me. I don't know if I agree with that, but you know, he's playing and I'm casting, so that should say something about my decision making.
True. And Lord knows we've been wrong once or twice so far. So. Prove us wrong. Prove us wrong. And so so Axe actually, he opts to get the Vanguard first, which we discussed, but he's still very close to the blink here. And he's gonna need to get a call off here. They need to take out this Jug, but he's just too damn strong. He pops the Omni Slash. So much damage on both, and the Crush finishes them both off. Perfect unity right there. That's team synergy, my friend. That is
the
team
positioning
synergy.
there. The positioning there by the Silencer and the Axe was also unfortunate. He was getting the Battle Fury hits with the Omni.
Necro also all by his lonesome here. His team's trying to come in, but
oh wow.
They're just too late. And Healing Ward's still up, man. They're still ready to go. They can keep fighting. Oh, the hammer's dropped! Check you later, Slardar. There you go. They put the RP, but they need some follow-up here. Really low on mana for most heroes. Able to take out the Ebola Spirit, but OD's good to go, and a Blink Dagger already on the Lion. Alright, so that's going to help them significantly here.
had a little bit of a miscue there in that fight. The OD actually ended up saving the Slardar from Necro's ult, which may have killed him. I think the Necro is sufficiently high leveled. Yeah, the Necro had level 2 ult, which probably would have killed the Slardar, but OD ended up astraling him.
Yeah.
So I think he went back in with the hammer just to try and... Ooh, all time. Yeah, that makes sense. But he went back in just to try to, redeem himself from making that little bit of an oopsie that we've all done and we've all seen players do playing OD.
With so many heroes, you see like, you have a Shadow Demon pull a disruption. I think today, in a Chrono, I've seen, it was a Legion duel. I saw, a Quaswex Invoker throw a Tornado out and make sure the dual damage doesn't go to his team. It's...
Yeah.
It does happen.
We've actually banned one of my friends from playing Pugna because of some unfortunate decrepifies that almost cost us a game.
Sure. And then, even if you've been playing for a long time, shit like that still just happens. It's genuine human error.
Oh yeah.
We can only do so much, but yeah, like every time the OD goes in and drops that hammer, there's guaranteed at least one hero that can go down, especially after an extended engagement like that.
Yeah, they don't have, on the cores, they don't have a lot of intelligence, so the OD is going to be very effective against those, and then the supports just are not going to have a lot of items to keep up with the OD, so...
Here we go. Omni's off cooldown one more time. Global Silence is expended. They're going to try to save this team, but... Jug can actually, he can posture up there, and Slardar blinks and crushes, and they don't even need Omni Slash. They're getting that kill regardless. RP
yeah, we saw the
actually
Manta being used there.
He didn't level 2, Magnus didn't put a second level in his RP. That's interesting. Okay,
well,
he just
the way
did now.
they're
He just
using
did now. He just did now. There you go.
The way they were using it, I could understand if he didn't do that. That is still weird, but they're using it more as a sort of a mini setup as opposed to an actual long duration stun. So
yeah.
I can see where that's coming in, but there's no reason not to level it.
Yeah, they have the Lion and the Slardar going in and with the Jug, and then the RP is actually like a second thought. Oh, he fakes out the crush. He's gonna be able to run him down. The bots are great, but he gets a great bash here. They're gonna try to run him down. He's got backup here. Lion's gonna have blink off cooldown. Doesn't even need it. Yeah, this Necro is I don't know how he's supposed to fit into this draft.
Well, normally I'd look at the Necro and I'd say, okay, that's a great pick to stop the Juggernaut because you can stun through the spin, or it's just a great pick to pick up kills in general. But I think the thing that confuses me is the 2,000 gold commitment into Boots of Travel, which has delayed the Atos and delayed further item progression. And I think I'm even questioning the Atos first, because picking up a Blink or something instead would be really potent. And they're running him kind of a split pusher, which I don't really agree with. He doesn't have great tower push.
No, God no.
He has good wave clears.
Man, this Slardar, he's got Blink and Force Staff, max level sprint, so he's very mobile. And there you go. If you're gonna stand out there by yourself, that's an easy Omni Slash target there. I think they're gonna be content with picking off the silencer, just sticking to the T2.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go for the T2 there, and then they'll back off, wait for Omni.
Oh, what a Blink crush! And Jug getting crits for days here, just wiping out that poor Earth Spirit. There's no chance. Dazzle actually tries to get the weave off on Jug while he's astraled. I guess he's just not realizing it doesn't work like that.
No. Well,
this Juggernaut is balling out of control, Brian. 17,500 net worth. Against a Midas carrier. Slaughter's just doing whatever the hell he wants at this point, too. The hammer's up. If they get a little initiation here.
There we go. That's the Necro ult I was expecting to see.
Yeah, and unfortunately it takes 26 minutes for it to actually go down like we imagined, but... Oh, the Lion! Don't forget, they have Finger! Alright, so now Jug's gotta be careful. He's got Omni Slash. They're gonna pop the Grave, and he's just gonna try to save himself at this point. He's got Healing Ward up. Yeah, he's going down.
He also has Agent.
Oh my gosh! Yep. He's back into the fight, and he saved Omni Slash, so if he wants to turn this, but... Maybe not recommended. The Atos there.
No.
Going to work, man. You use it to run down 2 heroes.
Yeah, it's a really powerful item. I think that Necro should build a Blink or at least a Force Staff before he goes after the Atos. So
Needs some
the
sort of
Midas could have been
positioning
the,
for sure.
missed decision there. That 2,000 gold could have been either of those items, or going for cheaper boots, he could have forwarded a Blink Dagger and had a little bit more mobility to make use of that Atos more.
All right, is this more right-click Jug now? Do we want to see the full? I mean, he's level 19. The guy's got 4.3k gold on him. Like he's living the high life here. Uh oh, he found somebody too. See, there you go. A nice use to try to preserve himself.
I don't think he needs the Augs because he's getting the Omni/kills without it. So I would expect to see more right click. We could even see an Abyssal as his next item. Depends on how afraid of the OD he is, because the Silencer is support, so the right clicks are not going to be there. If he's afraid of the OD right clicks, we could see a Butterfly next, but I would really like to see Abyssal just for that additional stun.
Honestly, I feel like this game might go a little bit longer than we're both expecting. So I mean, honestly, there's.
Oh yeah, it could definitely be both items.
Both, yeah, I mean, and this OD actually, if they can get the jump on him right here, that'd be a huge kill. Oh, misses the stun and the crush. Oh my gosh.
And the crush. Wow.
Really poor coordination there. That was a huge opportunity that they really whiffed. That's unfortunate. OD's praying to RNGesus right now. The Dota gods favor you today, sir.
Well, Lion, wow, Lion.
He opted to walk up. The Lion opted to
him.
walk up for the stun. He didn't blink in. That was very odd.
Yeah.
So,
maybe saving it for the chase.
Yeah.
Necro is actually getting a lot of split push in. He's getting a lot of farm out of pushing those waves. He's starting to close the gap. I think he was, well, he's at least keeping it even. Last time he was, what, 17 and 9? Okay, so he's closed it by about 500 to 700 gold. So he's making his way back in slowly but surely, and they're really donating space to him in terms of letting him farm. He's got both the off lanes. So we'll see what item he goes for, what kind of build he's going to go after, because there are some builds where Necro becomes a late game monster, but they're very gold intensive, and he's a long way away from them.
Which is why I didn't think twice about the Midas, because to get those big items online, like we talked about, like the scepter, the refresher,
Radiance, the bloodstone, the heart,
all
the
that
scepter,
kind of
the
stuff.
refresher.
It's one thing to have the ability to lead heroes off the map, but you have to be able to tank too. So but yeah, like you said, very gold intensive. But it's taking so long to get there. Meanwhile, in contrast, his safe lane counterpart already picked up a Butterfly. Like, we're talking a significant lead the entire game, and it's only getting bigger as time goes on because Jug's not dying. Jug's getting kills still, and he's not dying. So
yeah, he's been kind of a big deal. He's 12 and 1 right now.
Looks like Axe not really sure what else to go, so it looks like he's going to. He's gonna go to try to deny some of the right click damage here and upgrading the Vanguard. I think a Crimson Guard's a pretty damn good pickup here, especially since he's not really getting too much in terms of farm. And I think he stole a dunk, and actually he could be caught out here. The gank squad is in. He's got to blink out, and they just walk right past him. Slardar's got to get in there. They're gonna layer their stuns pretty damn well. He's pretty damn tanky though.
Finger.
Saves the finger, but still not enough. Axe is just so damn tanky. And the early finger, but the Grave's there to save him anyway. Can he get the TP out? Oh no! Earth Spirit will not allow that. And actually, Axe goes down the back end. So they're going to save the silence, but just too damn late. Omni's already used, and he got 2 kills off of that. Wipes out the silencer and the Necrophos.
Oh my god, that blind impale out of Magnus stopped the TP from the Earth Spirit.
Earth Spirit's still trying to get out. He's got no TP though. They're scouting him out and they see him. Sorry, pal. He's doing really well to at least buy time, but his team's all dead. It doesn't. And he's down as well.
Yeah, and the Juggernaut's the one pushing, and Juggernaut was not phased for a moment, so
no, not
he
at all.
got Magnus for a while, but
he got Omni Slash off at perfect time. OD really wishes he could do something at this point. He's got the hammer, he's got Lincoln's ready. But Jug is just pushing too damn fast here. And that's Elena Rax, just like that. Gonna do a little bit of aggression on the Lion, then pop them back actually, and he's good to go. There's the RP, and if they can take out the OD, they might be able to take a couple lanes of Rax. Yep, he's down. get the accent
Wow,
again.
that weak
Yeah.
beyond
Beyond godlike
effective.
already. Yeah, this is the Ghost we're used to seeing. They're back with a vengeance. They're probably pretty annoyed after the first the first game not going quite their way here.
Okay, that surprises me. The fact that OD has not purchased Lincoln Sphere more often. I know that
think
BKB, the old
is
build
just-
was like Force BKB was really popular, but Lincoln Sphere is such a good item, and especially on OD where he's not going to be facing as many abilities.
Ooh, misses the skewer.
So that,
Alright, so
that actually surprises me.
that's 2 lanes around. Yeah, they're just gonna go for Megas.
Out of 30 games out of 1,070
That is crazy.
games, that is
That's
3%.
Yeah, this game's pretty much done here. Lion has everything you could ever want. Oh my gosh, the AoE finger. Yeah, they call GG, and it's just you're not coming back.
Wow,
from
that was fascinating. Watching both of the games and the way that they played out differently each time. The first game, 4 branches definitely had control of the game, and it felt like they were ahead the entire game. Ghostz, of course, put up a great fight in that first game, and were actually a lot closer than I expected them to be at many junctures in the game. But 4 branches had the game pretty much the whole way from the beginning. And this game we saw exactly the opposite. So I'm really sad that I don't get to see a game 3 between these teams.
Yeah. I mean that's we kind of figured that there would be a big change in the draft. We both highlighted execution as being the issue, but I mean it's hard to execute on heroes that and team strategies that you're not so comfortable with. So we see them kind of revert back to like we said, a more meta build as far as the team comp goes, and they're able to execute just fine this time around. Juggernaut just absolutely having a day, just balling out of control. I mean, and there's really not much you can do, and unfortunately the cheeky Necro and OD picks are just not enough. So good matches though, very good matches. So
Oh yeah, definitely one of my favorite series. This is going to go down as one that I'll remember for quite some time.
you're gonna put it in your dream journal.
Oh, dude, you know it.
January 28th, 2016. Yeah.
Gonna write it, put it a little piece of paper under my pillow.
There
One
you
day
go.
I want to be no
There
chill.
you go. The Dota Fairy will come remind you about how good this game is. Well.
The Dota Fairy will come down and say, "Buy wards!"
Yes. Play support. Well, fantastic series. Thank you for joining me, sir. Pleasure casting with you as always.
Of course, we have another series after this, yeah?
No, they already started, so we're well.
Okay.
We get to go do stuff with our lives, be productive pieces of society. So, your choice. You don't have to. I mean, I'm gonna try to. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But,
All right. Well,
thanks for watching, guys.
pleasure casting.
Yep. Take it easy, Brian, and we'll see you next week, guys. Thanks for watching.